Hello, friends, and welcome into Boston Celtics today. I am your host, Tom Downey, here to recap Game 1 of the opening round of the NBA playoffs, which did not quite go the way Boston was at least hoping it was going to end up going, as the Brooklyn Nets took down the Celtics 104-93 in Game 1 of Round 1. We'll discuss this game in depth here a pretty decent amount, but Boston actually had a first-half lead. It felt like they could be able to pull off the upset. The big three of Durant and Irving and Harden were fairly slow to start, and then Boston kind of faded down the stretch, and Brooklyn closed with a very strong third quarter to end up taking the lead and winning that game 104-93. I want to focus in on the start with Jayson Tatum, who at various points in that opening game, frustrated is the word I'm going to go with here in terms of the battle between Tatum and Durant. Which one got the superstar calls? Who got the benefit of the doubt more or less? Well, not a huge surprise here. It ended up being Kevin Durant on that one. Tatum was the victim and the unfortunate recipient of some not great calls, if I'm trying to be honest here. There were points where Kevin Durant was very physical, several elbows, and they were not called in Tatum's favor. And then when Tatum got a little bit physical, it even wasn't that bad. Durant got the calls anyway. What was most concerning for me for Tatum, despite 22 points and very much carrying all of the burden and load offensively, was the field goals. 6 of 20 from the field. Now, Tatum balanced it out by going 9 of 11 from the line, but 6 of 20 from the field is not good enough for Jayson Tatum, which this is not fair, of course, but the reality is for Boston, with no Jaylen Brown here, is that Tatum is going to have to carry this team if they're going to be able to pull off an upset. He's going to have to be highly efficient and highly productive. So I want you guys to grade Jayson Tatum for me in the comment section. How do you feel he did in Game 1? A, B, C, D, or F? Get your votes in right now for me in the comment section. Unfortunately for Boston, the big three did do their thing in this one. Kevin Durant dropped 32 points. He was 10 of 25 from the field. Double-double for him. Kyrie Irving had 29 points. He was pretty solid as well. None of them shot great from deep. 1 of 8 from Durant, 2 of 8 both from Kyrie and Harden. But Harden also nearly put up a triple-double, 21, 9, and 8. Was 104 points for Brooklyn. And shocker, the big three absolutely carried them. Now, while the loss is a disappointment for Boston, I do think the play of Robert Williams is impactful and it matters. 23 minutes off the bench for the Boston Celtics, as I'm sure you all know, battling through that toe injury, fighting through it, gutting through it, and I think it's very clear right now. The Boston Celtics are a much better team, with a healthy and productive, of course, Robert Williams out there on the court. I thought he played pretty darn well. 11 points in this one. 9 rebounds, 9 blocks as well. I thought, in all honesty, that Robert Williams was one of the best players in this game for either side. His plus-minus was 5 there. 23 minutes in this one, a near triple-double. I actually think that Robert Williams was the MVP in this game for the Boston Celtics. So get your votes in for me. Who was the MVP? Was it Robert Williams, Jayson Tatum? I don't think it was Kemba Walker, but get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. I also did want to, on the positive side here, because that's the whole goal, right? Jabari Parker, I was surprised he played as much as he did, given the role he's had for Boston as a bench player. The second most time off the bench in this game, 22 minutes played. It's actually the second most minutes he's played since he joined the Celtics barely a month ago. So a nice little pleasant surprise there out of Jabari Parker. 9 points, 4 rebounds. The defense was kind of what you come to expect, but did have a nice block as well. +7 was actually one of the better plus-minuses for Boston. Of course, there's more than just individual play that goes into that. But I thought the play of Jabari Parker and Robert Williams does give Boston some hope moving forward for Game 2 and beyond. Now, if you guys want to bet on Game 2 for Boston, in which the Celtics are a 9.5-point underdog, head over to BetUS, the internet's #1 sportsbook. The link is right there below. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code CHAT125 to get yourself a 125% deposit bonus. It's a fantastic deal. Put some money on Boston. Not all of it, though. Take your $100, put down like, 10, $15 on Boston to pull the upset, and then you'll get a 125% deposit bonus on top of that. Plenty of money. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is chat125. Let's preview Game 2 then now here as the Boston Celtics, of course, down 1-0 in the series, once again visit the Brooklyn Nets, who are a 9.5-point favorite in this one. The over-under set at 226.5 points there. My bad, folks. Boston's the underdog here, but if they get better play, and we'll preview some keys to the game here in a second, I do think an upset is possible. So what do you guys think? Will the Boston Celtics win Game 2? Type in Y for yes, they will, or type in N for no, they will not. Get your votes in right now. Y for yes or N for no. Now, I did want to briefly mention the Game 1 scoring leaders here. Jayson Tatum led the way, 22 points there. Marcus Smart had 17. We will get to Kemba Walker in a second. That's the main reason why I wanted to put that one out there. But the Boston Celtics did have 5 players who got to double figures in that game against the Brooklyn Nets. The problem is, it's still not enough. Let's begin with Kemba Walker, right? 15 points. He's got to bounce back. That is not good enough play out of Kemba Walker if the Boston Celtics, who are not as good as the Brooklyn Nets, are going to be able to pull an upset. And I get it. It is a tough matchup for Kemba here. But 15 points on 5 of 16 shooting, you're Kemba Walker, and you are shooting less than 33% from the field. Now, he was 3 of 7 from deep. That's pretty good. 2 of 2 from the line. But 5 of 16 is not going to get it done. Kemba Walker's got to be way better, way more efficient, and way more impactful than 15 points and 2 assists out of him suggests. It was only 27 minutes, I know. You need more out of Kemba, though, going forward. I do want to mention Jayson Tatum here, who, again, I thought played good enough, but fair or not, the pressure and the burden on Jayson Tatum without Jaylen Brown right now is significant. 6 of 20 from the field is not going to get it done. Now, I appreciated the 9 of 11 from the free throw line, the 5 assists as well. 4 turnovers, not great. Also looks better compared to Kemba Walker's 3, given that Tatum played 41 minutes in this game. But for Boston to upset Brooklyn, Tatum's got to be dominant. I don't think he was dominant in Game 1. I don't think he was bad, but he's got to be one of the best players, if not the outright best player on the court, to upset the big 3 of Brooklyn. Finally, it's just this final note. Shooting in general has to be better. Boston was not good enough from the field. Now, that's not a huge surprise, and they only scored 93 points. Maybe there was some opening game jitters or whatever, but 36.9% from the field is not very good. Now, I did like 36.7 from deep. That's good enough, but you're almost shooting the exact same from the field as you are from the three-point range. That's not going to get it done at all. So the free throws as well, not particularly good. When Brooklyn shoots almost 42% from the field and they're shooting almost 90% from the free throw line on more attempts, by the way, well, that will lead to an 11-point swing in difference in the end result of the game. So Boston, with less talent, in large part due to injuries, and, it's the big 3 for Brooklyn, blah, 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 they've got to shoot better from the field. Efficiency has to be the name of their game. If they can get some turnovers, that's awesome as well. But I think better play from Kemba Walker, more efficiency from Tatum and the entire roster, and guys on the court could lead to an upset in Game 2 for Boston.